Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for taking some time to join us today. We are super excited to be meeting with you and to share a little bit more of the MGT story. Before we get kicked off, we'll give everybody who are not Gold Star students like you all, we appreciate your timeliness very much. We'll give everybody else another minute or so to get signed in, and then we'll jump in. So while we do that, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Dan Coakley, Partner Activation Lead here at MGT. And for all of you who are just getting started with us, who are new to the platform, new to MGT, please use me as a resource, and I am here to help. Also joining us, we've got Ali Essian. And Ali, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Ali Essian. I'm the head of our partnership success team. We work closely with our support and as well as Dan. So we're really looking forward to working closely with you.
Now, along the way, as we go through this presentation, it is interactive. Just because of the attendance here, we have to keep the mics off and the cameras off for everybody watching along at home or in their office. But please feel welcome to use the chat feature. Should be right towards the bottom of the screen. Little text box looking button that says chat. You can click there and you can ask us any questions as we go along. And before we get started, I've got a question for you all just to kind of get the conversation flowing. I think this time of year is still, for me here in Virginia, winter-like, but starting to begin to get nice, which always has me thinking about vacations and what I want to do when it's actually nice. Um, People are often either beach people or mountain people. And so I'm curious for those of you who are joining us today, which side of the divide you fall on? Are you a beach person or a mountain person?
Oh, Teresa said beach. I second that. I am California based and a beach person through and through. Beach, is it?
How about you, Annalise?
Um, I think I'm a mountain person right next to the river. So maybe a little bit of both.
Love it. And Annalise, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself as well? Because I know everyone on this call is going to be talking to you at some point before too long.
Awesome, folks. Yeah, my name's Annalise Meza, and I work in partnership success here at MGT Insurance. So I'm the person helping you get those policies bound or any sort of questions you have. A great resource. So if you need anything, feel free to email, Slack, or call me. I'm here to help.
Well, it looks like we've got a lot of beach people in here. We got some boathers, which I can appreciate. I happen to be in Richmond, Virginia, so we were kind of halfway in between the mountains and the beach, and I like that arrangement just fine. Although if I had to pick one or the other, I'd probably go against the grain here and be a mountain person. But whichever side of the divide you fall on, one thing I think we can all think is that we just wish we had more time to go to either one. And working with MGT is how you're going to get a little bit more time back so you can go enjoy it at the beach or at the mountain and kick back with a little bit less stress.
I'm with Chrissy. I could either do the mountains or the beach because I'm close to both of them. So.
So today we will talk a little bit about MGT, who we are, what we do. We'll run through our appetite so you know what kind of risks we'll be able to help you with. We'll run through a demonstration of the platform so you can see the magic in action. And then we'll wrap up talking about some recent wins and we'll open the floor to questions. Again, don't feel like you have to wait till the end to ask your questions. Please feel welcome to shout those out in the chat and we can always stop and answer those as we go too. So let me go ahead and get everything set up and I'll share my screen with you. So at MGT, we like to think we're building the future of the insurance industry. And where does it go from here as to the era of neo insurance? Now, you might be asking, what is neo insurance? It's a term that's pretty new, and that's just kind of comes with the territory when you're doing something for the first time. To understand what neo insurance is, you can kind of think of us in the context of the larger industry. You've got insurance carriers. Some of these companies have existed for, 400 years at this point, helping people protect their livelihoods, their families, to keep food on the table when times get tough. We love that. We're not here to change that. But as those companies have grown and evolved, top of their priority list has not always been to make things fast and easy, which I'm sure everybody has run into instances of that previously. You still got a lot of carriers that will only accept Accord submissions, and we are just so far beyond that now. The world has moved on. You've also got over the last, maybe 20, 30 years at this point, companies joining in to the ecosystem called InsurTechs. They tend to be fronting companies, wholesalers, MGAs, MGUs. There's a lot of different arrangements. Boil it all down, break through the jargon. What do? They put a nice, neat layer of technology on top of that kind of legacy carrier experience. It's really nice when it works out. I think I have definitely found in previous instances when things start to kind of stray off the happy path, can get pretty tough pretty fast, and there's not necessarily an easy solution. That's where MGT comes in and operates a little bit differently. We are the carrier. So we're standing behind the risks that we underwrite through the platform. We're rated A minus by AM Best. We've got excellent financial backing. You can feel confident and comfortable as you write with us. No matter what comes down the road, we control the experience from setting the appetite and the rates all the way out through adjusting claims. And so we can deliver a great experience to you and to our policyholders along the way. Let's see, looks like we got a question in the chat. So let's go into next step. A couple quick points about MGT. As I mentioned, we are rated A minus by AM Best. We're also writing all of our policies on 100% ISO forms. Those are the most legally tested forms on the market. That is what all the designations, all the licensing tests, when they reference policy language, it's almost always going to be ISO language. And so, put those 2 points together. You can feel very comfortable writing business with us. If there ever is a claim, it's going to play out as you would expect. We also have built a zero friction process. You'll see this here in just a minute, but quick highlight, no accords, no supplementals. We produce bindable quotes through the platform, so it's built to remove a lot of that back and forth communication to firm up quotes that you've all experienced. And so as a result of that, over 85% of our policies are able to go from logging in to start the submission to quoted, bound, and issued in 3 minutes or less. We are admitted in 44 states and Washington, D.C. So we've got a pretty wide footprint at this point as well. A couple quick numbers, and I won't go through all of these, but one that I do really like to pause on and highlight is that fourth quarter last year, which is just the last complete quarter that we've been able to measure, we had 100% uptime. So that means anytime an agent, a broker, policyholder needed to access our platform to quote, bind, issue, service, or renew an account, to download documents and answer questions, the platform was there, it was up, it was available, it was operational, and so nobody was caught, waiting on their screen for a page that won't load. We're there to help enable you to do business. As far as appetite goes, we are writing at this point over 300 classes of business. Some highlights there, artists and contractors we just released, we're really excited for. We do a lot of professional and medical offices, a lot of retail store classes. Some of those are very, very strong performers for us, so don't sleep on the retail appetite. We'll write wholesalers and distributors. We'll write your barbershops, beauty parlors, nail salons, bakeries, grocery stores, convenience stores, restaurants, another great opportunity. A lot of the small businesses that just keep your communities running are the kinds of businesses that fit very well with us. We got a question in the chat, any daycare appetite? And the answer to that is no. No, we're not a market for daycares, but I do appreciate you asking and keep them coming. Um, We got another question in the chat about gas stations. We don't write gas stations technically, but we do write convenience stores with gas. Where's the dividing line? Great question. It's actually the area of the interior store has to be at least 3,000 square feet. So if they've got at least 3,000 square feet of store area, we could potentially underwrite that as a convenience store that sells gas. We'll write businesses up to 3 million in revenue for most risks, up to 5 million revenue for office risks. We got another question about security guards. Those are also going to be a little out of appetite for us, but I love these. Keep them coming and we'll answer them as they come in. 24-hour operations, another question that just came in, generally going to be out of appetite for us. Man, so many of these. Awesome. This is amazing. Keep them coming, y'all. We got a question about LROs and apartment buildings. That is out of appetite for us at this time, but stay tuned. I would expect that will open up in the coming months. We do write new ventures, businesses with claims history, coverage lapses, no habitational. That was a question that just came in. Habitational right now is just out of appetite for us, but probably at some point middle of this year, that's going to change. We're just not writing lesser's risk at this time. We do write buildings though, if it is owned by the business owner, we can write up to 2 million total insured value per location with up to 4 locations per policy. We got a question about auto. That is also out of appetite for us, at least right now. All we're writing is the BOP. So I do get caught a lot like that, just saying all we're writing is the BOP or we just write BOPs. But the reality is we do write a lot more than just a BOP. We've got a lot of different coverages available. Some highlights here, cyber liability, always a topic of conversation. We can add up to 100,000 in that. We've got workers' comp stopgap coverage in monopolistic states. We can add professional liability for certain risks, not the professional medical offices, but if you've got like a barber shop, beauty parlor, nail salon, or photographer, we could definitely help on their professional liability. Hired non-owned auto, it's another one that gets a lot of interest. We could write that for a lot of different risks. We had a question come in through the chat, umbrella. We're not writing umbrella limits, but that's another one I would say stay tuned for because that may change at some point this year. In certain circumstances, we can do 2 mil, 4 mil limits on the GL. And so I'll show you how we can work through that as we go through the platform demo. We've got some optional coverages and sublimits as well. I won't go through the list here and read all these. I know all of you are pretty familiar with these coverages, but the highlight here is that anything you're adding to your quote in our platform are only going to show you bindable options for. So you can always feel comfortable that you'll be able to stand behind that quote you get back at the end. We do have some restaurant coverage enhancements that are available. They've got higher contamination and spoilage limits available. They can qualify for higher non-owned auto if they're not doing any self-delivery. If they're just delivering through third-party apps, that's totally fine. We can add some stock protection. If they've got valet operations, we can add some coverage for damage to customer autos. There's a lot of good stuff available for restaurants. And then contractors as well. It's another one we recently added. They've got some automatic coverage for tools and equipment. They can qualify for higher non-owned auto as well. And so definitely keep us in mind for those artists and contractors as they come your way.
Dan, there was a question about independent liquor liability. We do not offer a standalone liquor liability product, but we do offer it, and Dan will go through that as he demonstrates our platform. We do go up to 50% in liquor receipts, so pretty generous there.
And then we had a question about contractor operations, installation. I don't think that's one that would fit with us, but we'll double check on that. We'll get back to you with a solid answer there. So now we will take a look at the platform. Let me go ahead and close this out. We had another question come in about liquor stores. Those are eligible with us, so you could certainly quote a liquor store. So before we jump into the platform, I'll just show you mgtinsurance.com. This is where everything starts, and I like to start here just to show you this great resource. If you click into the BOP Appetite tab, you'll be able to see a coverage map so you can see all the states where we're writing business. The green states, we are currently admitted, ready to go. Blue states are going to be coming soon. So stay tuned because we've got a little bit more room to grow before we're done adding more states. And then if you scroll down from here, you can actually communicate with our AI appetite assistant, Amy. Amy's a great resource for you if you've got a quick question. Actually, let me take one of these questions from the chat. Can you write an insulation installer? And so Amy knows our appetite on a class code level, knows some of the finer details as well, knows the states that we're able to write in, and it's able to parse through a lot of that language. And she can get back to you with a quick answer. If it's something we can write, let's just say, can you write a deli in Philadelphia? So she will come back. She'll let us know some of the guidelines, some of the things to look out for, and provide some instructions on how to get signed in and start quoting. This is just a great resource available. You don't even have to log in to get here. And Amy's up and online waiting for your questions 24/7, 365. Before we jump into the platform, I'll show you as well the bottom right-hand corner of the page. We've got a little speech bubble here, and you can use this to instant message back and forth with our support team. We do also respond to emails. They do pick up the phone and talk to folks when they call in. So we like to be able to meet you wherever you like to be met and to communicate with you however you're most comfortable. The fun part starts when we click sign in, and then that'll take us, sorry, let me get a new page loaded up here. That'll take us into the application so we can start working on quotes. You've got some different options here. You can start a quote, pretty self-explanatory. You can add new users to your team. You can go review that appetite information. On the sidebar, you've got options for policies, quotes, user management, all pretty self-explanatory. So let's go ahead and start a quote out. And this is really where the magic happens. I have been doing demos like this for a long time. And when you do demos in front of a big group like this, there's one golden rule almost everybody follows, which is stick to the script. You go in with a plan, you stick to it. But I'm going to open up the floor here. If anybody in the meeting has like a favorite restaurant, favorite barber shop they go to, maybe a real estate agent or an accountant who send you leads, shout them out here and we can quote with just their name. We'll run through that process so you can really see the power of the MGT technology. And so feel free to shout those out in the chat. So I've been drinking a lot of smoothies this year, which has given me the nickname around the office of Smoothie King. And so let's go ahead and just run a quote for a Smoothie King in the area of our office, the Denver Tech Center. So we've got the name entered. We'll click continue. We'll select the business owner's policy. It's able to understand that Smoothie King's classification is a juice bar. So it found that automatically. It's going to start out asking us a couple questions. Have there been any claims? Do we need to add any building coverage? We'll click continue here. It actually already knows that they're not likely operating out of a hotel or an apartment. So that's pre-filled for us. We'll click continue. Again, it's finding all this information. When you put in that business name behind the scenes, we're looking up somewhere around 3,900 different data points on that business. But, sometimes you'll be more familiar with that risk than anybody else. You might need to make some changes. So you're not locked in to what the algorithms think the answer should be either. If we know that this business started out in 2023, we can enter that in, update it that easily, and click continue. It has identified that they may be hosting some special events. If this happens to you and you know that they're not, just put a 0 in there, and that way there's no special events coverage. Now we can enter in their gross sales. Let's just go with a nice round number there. Click continue. We will say that no, they're not open after 11 p.m. That'd be a pretty busy Smoothie King. And then you can add any additional insureds that need to be added here as well. Just select the type, enter the information, answer a couple questions. And if you accidentally click that one too many times, you can always click that trash icon to remove it. We'll click continue here. And then in this section, we're able to answer some questions about the building and get that added into the quote. For this submission, we're working with a contents only policy. So those are pretty straightforward. Our technology actually found the square footage, the construction type, can detect if there's automatic sprinklers or not. Again, double check these as you go through, but it should be fairly accurate as we go. Let's just say for this one, there's no automatic sprinklers, and then it's quoting it at 100,000 business personal property. We can go ahead and lower that, maybe make it 75,000. We'll write up to 2 million total insured value per location, just as a reminder. We'll click continue here. In this page, if we need to go back and edit any of that information, we can do that, but we don't. We'll click continue. We'll keep the TRIA coverage on, click continue one more time, and now it's going to load our quote. So this is where it's calculating out all the numbers, the rates. This is where it's determining eligibility in a lot of ways. It's looking up even more information behind the scenes on this risk. And in just seconds, we got a quote back. So a little quirk in the system is it will always quote the furthest out effective date that we can offer for that risk. So just double check this, make sure that you're quoting it with the accurate effective date. And then the rest of this page as we go through should be really, really familiar to anyone on the call. This is where you can set all of your sublimits, all your different deductibles. And again, any options that show up in this page will be bindable options, so you can feel confident as you go through. So we can really tailor this to that specific policyholder and their business. Let's scroll down to the bottom here. Maybe we want to add on some hired non-owned auto. We'll just check the box to do that. It's going to recalculate our quote here in the upper right-hand part of the screen. This lets you make all the changes that you need to make, either one by one or in a group. So you can kind of figure out like where that balance is between coverage and premium. Once you've got everything set up, just click update quote. And then I had mentioned a little earlier that we're able to offer 2 mil, 4 mil limits in certain circumstances. To do that, you would just click this, select 2 mil, 4 mil, and then update your quote there. We had a really good question come in. How often are quotes referred prior to binding? So if the submission is in appetite for us, that's going to instant quote for you. We tend to see somewhere between 70 and 80% of quotes are actually doing what we call straight through processing, or those are instant quotes back. The rest of the 20-30%, some of those are declines, some of those are referrals. Our goal with referrals is to get those turned around for you same day. So from here, if we want to download the quote letter, we can do that. If we need to make any updates, we can click edit quote and do that. And then if we are ready to go, we've presented this to the insured, just click continue to bind. And then here you can actually send them a copy of that quote letter. So we'll just do this here. Luckily, it's got a lot of my answers saved, even easier. And then we'll click confirm and send to insured. So this is going to send the applicant an email That'll have the payment link. It'll have links so they can review the quote as well, make sure everything fits. And then as the agent, you're able to stay in touch with the process too. So this page will actually update as we go through. And if you're ever working with someone who just needs a little extra help, you can click copy share link, and then you can send that to them by text, by email, however you like to communicate with them. I'll just open up a new tab and paste that in so you can see what this looks like. It's pretty straightforward. Just select annual, quarterly, or monthly payment. There is a discount for annual payments, but there's no extra charge for quarterly or monthly payments. You can select those. It'll tell you what the installment is. You can see the payment schedule. All that great information is available to you. We'll click continue here, and then we'll go through and we'll e-sign all the documents.
Dan,
So this takes just a moment to get loaded up.
while we're loading up, so there's a question. I tried to quote for an animal feed distributor, trying to put in as garden center or professional office. How can we enter the correct NAICS code?
So you should be able to adjust the class code in that first page there. Once you've actually started the quote, though, there's not really a way to go back and change it because a lot of the data that we're looking up is based on that class code. So if you've gotten a couple pages in, I would just go ahead and start a new quote out, and hopefully you haven't spent too much time on that.
I mean, I will say on that as well, Dan. If for whatever reason you're finding that the system is not allowing you to update or you feel like it's an error on our end, please get in contact with us via chat, so with that we can address it. So if you get it all the way to the end, the class code's not right, hopefully we can adjust it for you on the back end. And then just to circle back to the underwriting question, if you entered a risk and you need it underwritten kind of expedited, you can get in contact with our chat and we can work with our underwriter to kind of get that up in the list. No promises, but if you need something quickly, definitely get in contact with us so we can prioritize it.
Yes, we're happy to escalate.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really the power of MGT is we lead with this technology. It's great. It's going to make a lot of the things that come your way that should be easy just actually really easy. But standing right behind that tech, you've got a fantastic human team, and we're here to help you too. So I just went through the e-signing process, just kind of gave it my squiggle for the signature, clicked signed all, and now we're at the payment page. Pretty straightforward here. Just select card or ACH. We take credit, debit, or ACH payments. And then we'll enter in some information here. Sometimes I do remember the magic numbers that make this work in the test system. Sometimes not. Let's see if this works for us. We'll click complete. Boom. And so that payment went through. We've got the invoice number to let us know. And then if we click back into that first page, you'll see that this has been updating along the way. So the policy documents are available for issuance. You can download those here. And then if you love that process so much, you're ready to knock out another one, just click start quote and we can go through all that all over again.
Uh, so we had a situation where the agent chatted with us and maybe after hours she said she was working in the evening. And so I don't know, Annalise, you want to share the business hours for the chat?
Yes, so it's business hours 8 to 5 Mountain Time. But Tanya, I will take a look and see if that quote, or you can follow up with me directly to make sure we get that in a good place for you.
Oh, fantastic. So let me go ahead and we will run through a couple recent wins that we've had. And these should give you a really good idea of the kinds of risks that we'll be able to help you out with. We did an electronics retailer. This was actually a cell phone store in the Houston area, if I remember right. Just 1 mil, 2 mil GL, 15,000 BPP, $750 quote, in and out. We'll do that all day long. That agent took 9 minutes to go through that entire process, replaced a non-renewal with an admitted ISO BOP form policy. We did a convenience store in South Carolina. 1 mil, 2 mil GL, 75,000 in BPP, came into about $3,500. They found significant savings on that quote compared to the incumbent. Took them 6 minutes, start to finish. We did a seafood restaurant in Georgia. A lot of times people will hear our appetite, they'll think about us more for those $750 accounts. But little trick of the trade here, knocking out this $14,800 account really did not take all that much more work or time to knock it out. They were able to update a lot of coverages, give them something that was really bespoke, really met all their needs. It was a big improvement over the incumbent carrier. And I think that took them, it doesn't say here, but they might have worked on that for 30 minutes tops. Now, final page here, and this is maybe the most important page of all, but this is how you can get in contact with the team here at MGT. Uh, you know, Very fortunate to have Annalise and Allie joining me on the call. There are even more awesome people here, though, and I'm sure you'll be able to talk to all of us soon. So I'll leave this up in case anybody wants to copy that down. But we're not shy about sharing this info. We'll blast it out to your email inboxes too. So thank you for attending this afternoon. It's always really great. Just an amazing amount of engagement too. I appreciate all the questions. Uh, this is honestly like one of my favorite time blocks of the whole week, where we really get to connect directly to the agents who are the most engaged, most interested in learning about MGT and building that relationship. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us. And, I hope that you've seen here how fast it is, how easy it is, and maybe how you can get some more time back to go enjoy at the beach instead of sitting and doing data entry.
Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
So have a great day, everybody.